everybody to our third podcast. Today we're going to record in English because our topic of today is
plant medicine. We are going to make this podcast because of the campaign Thank You Plant Medicine, in honor of plant medicine, to show our gratitude and to help raise awareness about plant medicine.
Yes, and on the 20th of February the hashtag Thank You Plant Medicine is coming out. And what we're trying to do together is to create a wave of abundance and a wave of gratitude from all the people that have had good experiences with plant medicine, and to deliver a message to the world as to what plant medicine can support us with and assist us with in life. So, how did you get to know about plant medicine and what was your first experience?
That beautiful man came to dinner at our place, and he has had done ayahuasca. And when people have done ayahuasca and talk about ayahuasca, I don't know, something gets triggered. The message gets received if you're open to and able to receive. And so he said to me, like, Larissa, I never knew what love was. Before ayahuasca, I didn't know what love was, and now I know. And then, I don't know, it was something about the way that he told it, and I don't know, it just triggered something within me. And that was actually the very first time I was thinking about, but maybe there's something for me as well, rather than, yeah, but I don't think I have any problems, I'm fine. That was the first time I was like, no, I really want to feel what love is. I need it myself. Yes. So then, after that, I made the decision that it was something for me. Then I even got called by the Spirit more intense, because then literally everywhere I saw it. And then I read an article and about the place, and then I went and I've done it. So that's how the Spirit has called me. And you?
Yeah, my experience was what you were saying, actually, like that you would see. I was reading a magazine, then I would read an article about it, then I would open Facebook, and then I would see ayahuasca, and like everywhere I started to see ayahuasca. And then obviously I met you, and then she told me about her experience with ayahuasca. And for me, it was all of a sudden I felt this deep calling. Like, if I look back my whole life, I've been actually searching for meaning and searching for that love and searching for that connection, you know. And my whole life I was actually searching in the wrong places, which ultimately also led me into addiction. And then when I felt the calling, I wanted to go straight away. It was such a strong calling. So I booked with a center in the Netherlands, and it was literally like 1 or 2 days later. And after that day, there was no other day coming up where I could actually go. So I knew, like, I need to go now. And my first experience was actually quite literally a roller coaster. For me, that was more like, if I have to translate it into what happened in that experience, it was more like a defragmentation of everything accumulated in my subconscious over life. And it was more as if my brain was a computer, and the plant took me on this journey where everything that was not useful anymore for my computer was taken out. So it was like this roller coaster of going through information, and sometimes I would encounter an interesting thing where I would want to stay longer, you know, like, hey, I want to stay here, but no, we needed to go on the roller coaster. And from that very first experience, like, I saw the guides working, and I could feel the love of the plant, and I knew instantly, like, I want to also be able to guide ceremonies and to work with ayahuasca. It was like really heart opening and beautiful, and actually it felt like coming home, you know?
Yeah, I had to say, for me it was exactly the same. It was like homecoming and just a broader understanding of it gave so much meaning and depth in my life that before I wasn't able to grasp. You know, I was always in this search, and what you were telling, like you were always in this search, and that's what we intend to do. We intend to search for things outside of ourselves.
Yeah.
And for me, that was the same. It was like, you know, there was this big emptiness within me, and now I love emptiness. Like, oh yes, emptiness. But then it was like it was a different kind of emptiness, and I just tried so desperately to fill it up with all things outside of outside of me, and then the plant medicine just like brings you within of yourself. It's like really a journey within yourself.
Yeah.
And then you go deeper inside of those layers. And that's why I love plant medicine so much, because like if for me it's like if you go to a therapist, you sit down and you talk about things, and I'm not saying it's not helpful, because it can be very helpful at times in periods if you have the right connection and so on. But with plant medicine, it's like you are doing it. You are going within with the help as plant medicine as a bridge. But it's not like somebody's telling you something, or somebody's. You have to walk the path yourself. Either way.
Yeah, and I also think plant medicine is able to go into layers that we cannot go into with our minds.
Exactly.
So it works not only on an emotional level, but it works on a physical and a spiritual and a mental level. But it goes so much deeper. I think because our brains are not able to comprehend all that information. That's why we defragment and we compartmentalize the pieces of information that are useful in that moment. And I think psychedelics in a whole are able to push through all these layers and bring out all this information in a like psychedelic way. And yeah,
it's like
it's powerful.
Psychedelics and plant medicine has such a great stigma on it, and that's what we want to address as well for people who are watching and maybe have an opinion or judgment about plant medicine, while we see it really as a medicine. And if you look at drugs, or in a broader sense, for me, I always look at everything that I do. I ask myself the question, does this bring me closer towards myself, or does it take me further away of who I am in the essence? And for me, like plant medicine, it truly brings you closer towards yourself. It just helps you discover so much about who you are, and that's so meaningful. So,
the plant is a connector. It connects us with ourselves, but also with the people around us and with the universe, and how we are all interconnected. And that's also the element love, because when you feel that connection, that is love, I think.
It is love.
So now we've only actually spoken about ayahuasca, but obviously plant medicine entails much more.
Yes, I like, but honest, to be very, very honest, like we are working together with ayahuasca, and I love ayahuasca so much, but I am like the biggest fan of Huachuma. I literally the first time I did Huachuma, it was after my whole, because I did ayahuasca, and then all of a sudden you discover so many sacred medicine, you're like, what, a whole new world opens for you, and you see all those beautiful beautiful methods that can help you in your own process, and they are here, so why not work together with all those beautiful sacred medicine. And then the first time I did Huachuma, I literally said, I'm in love. I felt such a gratitude, because every medicine has its own effects, and it's like totally different. You cannot compare it with one another.
Yeah.
And Huachuma for me, it's very grounding, and it's very about Gaia. I'm sorry. No, it's very about the mother and earth and grounding and just this realm, this physical realm. And because I had a lot of trouble with being here, in this physical realm, because I was always about the floating and the la 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 la, and then like Huachuma really helped me
to manifest into the earthly realm.
Yes, to descend more and to be more like, wow, I can touch and yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but now obviously some of you maybe are not familiar with the names Huachuma or ayahuasca. So when we're talking about ayahuasca, that's actually a combination of two plants. The first plant, that's actually the original vine, which is called the Banisteriopsis caapi. That plant actually makes sure that the MAO enzymes in our stomach get
shut down.
Shut down, yeah.
Shut down.
And then the second plant, which is often the DMT, or actually always a DMT containing plant, which you also drink, is able to put you, or to get you in a state where you can make that inner journey. And when we're talking about Huachuma, we're actually talking about a cactus. It's also called San Pedro. Besides the different effects of the plants and the different application of the plants, we can go deeper into that. There's also different plant spirits.
But like in Holland, the first time I did ayahuasca, it was actually not ayahuasca, but it was anuasca.
Yeah.
But it's just very not for everybody to. Some people get confused, so that's why people don't. It's not always a subject, But for me, it's very important because, because Jurema. I really is like this in Holland. We work a lot with the DMT component, the mimosa, and that's connected with the spirit Jurema. So I love Jurema. I have a really good interaction with Jurema as well. But I feel like she's a little bit, not enough highlighted in the world.
Yeah,
It's a personal opinion. I'm realizing at this moment. I had this realization before. But that's why always when we open the ceremony and we call the spirits or ask them if they want to join our sacred ceremony, we call the Madre Ayahuasca, because we work with the Caapi vine and the spirit is connected with the Caapi. But we also always call Jurema, and I always thank Jurema as well for her beautiful way and her movements and her
her magic.
Her magic,
yeah. And ayahuasca is often experienced as a feminine spirit, and often also referred to as a grandmother. And she can be very nice and nurturing and loving and caring, but she can also slap you around the room if you don't show her respect. And if we talk about the Huachuma, that's perceived more as a very large, for me personally at least, very large grandfather spirit with a lot of wisdom, who gently takes you by the hand and shows you what you need to be seen in that moment. I've personally only journeyed with the Huachuma one time, and for me it was like you were also saying, very grounding and very in the here and now, very addressing what's happening in your life now, what you need to give some attention to.
I think I have a different opinion about something that you just said. Because a lot of times people say and the Madre Ayahuasca, and she's so straight, and she slaps you around, and
sometimes,
but I don't think she does that, I think that the Madre is just this love, and she just wants to show you things, and you yourself create the slapping around.
No, definitely,
because going in resistance. She doesn't slap you around. She just wants to show you something. Yes. And if you go in resistance,
but if you don't show the respect, or if you don't see your journey as a sacred process, and you just do it for entertainment purposes, yeah, then probably you're gonna be slapped around a little bit too.
I don't think, because there are also people who just came seriously just because they were interested in the ayahuasca and things like that, and then they get the experience because
Yeah.
it's just like God or spirit or whatever. They don't judge. You know, for me, that's for me. Like they're
Yeah.
neutral, and we are the one judging and putting things. We create the whole experience ourselves, and they just are this bridge that create this connection, and within that we
Yeah.
can. But
No, that's true.
but I
It is a
experienced the
loving.
same.
It is a loving
Like
spirit.
the ayahuasca can, the ayahuasca experience can be more harsh for me personally as well as the huachuma.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love plant medicine.
So yeah, people that could experience positive outcomes through plant medicine. What people are we talking about then? Is it people that suffer from depression, people that suffer from burnout, people that are looking for deeper meaning in life, people that want to go on a journey of self-discovery, people that want to heal their addictions,
Yes.
people that want to feel what it's like to be part of a community, because when you're in a ceremony and you're all like on this journey, you feel so like connected, feel like this is a family, I want to stay here almost, you know. So yeah, that's all the people that could benefit greatly from plant medicine. And it's sad that there's still like that it's still stigmatized, and that in the media you still read like often the negative, like the one negative thing happens and it gets blown up in the media. And therefore also we want to make this video today with the Thank You Plant Medicine hashtag to highlight how beautiful it can help for healing and transformation and
It's
personal growth.
if you look at the ceremony and to the people that are coming, it's like all kinds of people, like in age or within in what they do for a living, or you know, if they are a hippie or like just this business lady person, like literally everybody is able to go to a plant medicine. But it's not for everybody. You really need to have to call within, and if you feel it's resonating, then it doesn't matter who you think you are or what your perception about yourself is. Just follow your heart and go to a place that resonates with you, and you will have an amazing unfolding of a process you are already in at this moment.
Your process basically starts as soon as you hear the calling.
Yeah, no, your process starts when you get out of the womb. Or before. It's endless.
Yeah, and then everyone also works in a different way. Each place also has their own energy, and I think also with all psychedelic journeys, set and setting is very important.
And those.
Yeah, so set is it's got to do with your mindset and how you prepare yourself in order to get into the journey. And then the setting is the place where the ceremonies are held, the guides, the music, are they singing, is there normal music, is it in nature or is it more like an urban environment? So yeah, that says a lot about the setting, you know, and that's good to tune into feeling wise, like what resonates with you and where would you want to participate in a ceremony. And
for me it's very important to, of course, the baseline is to feel safe. You really need a place where you feel safe, because if you are not feeling safe, it would be very difficult to let go and go into total surrender, but it's truly necessary for you to be able to get in your journey. But after feeling safe, my biggest, how you say it, voorwaarde? Condition for me that is important to go on a journey is to feel free. I really need my space to feel free. If I want to go and dance and I'm not disturbing anybody, I really need to have that space to do that. I need that space to totally express myself, because the thing is for us, when we hold space for a ceremony, what you want is people to become who they are, to feel that they can be authentic and they can express their true self. It's all about authenticity. And then if you don't give them the space during this ceremony to be able to do that, then it's quite
contradictory.
Yeah, to what is the essence, or what
to become the real you.
Yes, exactly. If you're not able to do so that's for me the two main things, to be able to feel safe, that you feel like I feel safe with the guys and with the environment. And I feel I have the freedom to be myself and be who I am. So that's what we try to create as well.
Yeah, for me personally, if I think back of all the journeys that I've participated in and what it has actually brought me, is first of all, it's brought me a lot closer to myself. And you were talking earlier about filling a hole.
Yeah.
Filling an emptiness inside. And I think my whole life I kind of had this lingering feeling of emptiness, and as I mentioned earlier, for me that manifested into addiction, and I also remember, and this is actually quite vulnerable, but when I was younger and when I used to look in the mirror, I really didn't like the person that I was seeing. And for example, then we would have a weekend or Saturday morning, and it was a nice, oh, it's weekend, and what are we gonna do? And then I would just be confronted with the person that I didn't really like myself, and that also reflected into other areas of my life. And through this whole process of healing, with all the ceremonies that I've participated in, I've come to a place where I can actually be with myself and value and respect the person that I am, and value and respect all my experiences, even the bad ones, because that is ultimately what shaped the person that I am today, and I feel I've so much more love for life and for myself, and I wish this for everyone, to be able to be in deep contact with ourselves and what lives in us, and sometimes to heal that, or to express that, or to feel that, and that's what plant medicine can help us with. So I'm super grateful for all the plant medicines, even the ones that I haven't experienced yet. We've also been experienced a lot with psilocybin.
Yeah.
It's a completely different spirit, very playful, very clear in the communication, and it's very nice, so talk about this for hours.
It's if you look at society and how we created society all together, there are just so many people who are getting stuck within this self-created, manifested reality, because it's so far from our nature and living from our essence. And then if people get stuck, you can see nowadays so many people have burnout, they have depressions, they have anxiety, there are so many things that are going on, and that's just a signal of you are not living from your heart, you are not living your truth. And then what modern society tends to do is just push it away, just ignore the whole thing and just go in this go mode. Or you can get medication, or you can talk about your problems, just highlighting your problems, focusing on that. While there are plant medicine able to shift your whole life, to really go, for me what it does, it has shifted me from a state of surviving constantly being in survival modus, surviving, life's so hard, surviving, does it ever end? Till living, till playing, till co-creating, to existing and being in gratitude for life. And of course, I'm not saying like I'm not still sometimes in survival modus or thinking, does this process ever gonna end? No, of course not. But life is life, and everything will always continue as it is. But I'm much more able to comprehend and to react and to be with all that is. And that's such a gift. Plant medicine, it's a gift. And if you feel the call, and if you think it can help you, then why not? Because also the love you are able to feel, if you block yourself out because you don't want to feel the pain, you also block yourself out for all the love that is there. And if you are able to layer for layer unfold yourself and be more naked and more pure and more vulnerable, but within it also more powerful, it's just like a blessing.
And what you were talking about in the Western world, like we often suppressing until we cannot suppress anymore, and the symptoms come out, and then we can put plasters on and bandages on the symptoms and like use medication. But what we actually need to do, we need to get to the core of the issue, and that is plant medicine is an excellent tool to get to the core and to address something from there so that we can bloom from within.
And it's like all the spirits are very gentle, and although a ceremony can feel very intense, and that's partly also with how we are able to let go, and that's just a very difficult thing for I think everyone.
Still,
yes, it goes layer for layer, and it's just like this unfolding, and it's so nice. Is there something more, like, what do you want people to know about plant medicine? Like, is there something?
Well, if you feel the calling to experiment with certain plant medicine, just read up about it, watch YouTube videos, get knowledgeable, get educated, and know what you're getting yourself into. Make sure that there's always someone to look after you. It could be a guide, like you could also have a trip sitter. I wouldn't recommend that necessarily, especially when you're dealing with ayahuasca.
The magic truffles, I think.
Like the truffles, you could do a recreational dose, but if you really want to go into the deep end, I would recommend always, having someone there who's got the experience with the medicine. And like that's, I think, also how we kind of work. We have deep respect for the shamanic teachings and the way of working in the Amazon, but we also approach it with a more therapeutic kind of mindset, because we are dealing with different issues in the Western world. So it's a mix of a lot of these things coming together, I think.
Yes, I think we like for me, in the beginning, I had a lot of concern always about how other people perceive me, but now I'm just not
guiding or
no in general. But now I'm like I'm just living my truth, and speaking my truth in every way, in every sense. And what we are doing, for me, like how we facilitate and how we hold space for our ceremony, I think it's just fit in with the people that are coming to us. Because
we are not teachers, we are students.
yeah, everybody,
Yeah, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I know. I thought you wanted to tell more about it.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, continue.
Oh yeah. No, it's just like that. We believe in what we do so much, and in Western, like we have different problems. Also, we deal with different.
I think what
mindsets.
you're getting at is like we struggle with authority, and in general.
That's not what I'm
Okay,
saying.
no, okay.
That's something
No,
I
that's-
have as well.
Yeah, I struggle with authority. So I think what you also trying to illustrate is like that we want to meet people on the same level.
Oh yes, but that's yes, that's also a thing. Like we moved on from plant medicine to now talking about how we hold space for people apparently.
We'll cut that out.
But how?
No, I thought
but
you were
it's
talking
very,
about that.
but it's very important to have those things. For me, to be able to hold space. For me, I want to do it from a state of equality.
Yes.
You know, and that's what we do. We are equal to everybody. We are all teachers. We are all students.
We're all learning from each
We're
other.
all learning from each other, and we're all like literally the same, but then also very individual. And then that's very important. And in the beginning, I felt resistance within myself for not being like, who am I to work with this sacred medicine from the Amazon, not fully integrating the Amazon ways into our ceremonies. You know, from now being there to say this very valuable what we do in our way to attract the people that feel that resonates with what we are doing.
Yeah, and that's also what you feel from the plant itself.
Yes, we feel that, and it's just like a beautiful thing, like that you can do it in so many ways. Like you can go to the Amazon. Me myself, I literally want to go there, you know, and experience that. But you know, it's just like, if you feel the call for plant medicine, go to a place that resonates and you will be fine. And what we love to do as well with plant medicine is like, you have this total different setting. Like you can work with plant medicine in a group, or you can work with plant medicine individual. If you work in a group, like you can feel like a lot of things are getting touched, and you can feel the benefits of being in a group, addressing things within yourself.
Yeah.
Group.
And often there's a group theme.
Group team.
Yeah. Continue.
Okay. You can you can also feel a deeper connection with each other, so you can feel that unity. So that are very beautiful, beneficial things of journeying in a group. And then you have journeying individual. You know, the both of them are different, but the both of them are valuable on their own. So I never try to address something as better or not better or worse or whatever. It's like everything is valuable, but it's just different. And then if you journey alone, then you are totally in your own energy. You know, you can go
and you can go deep. You can do deep process work.
Yes,
with your guides.
Yeah.
To really address certain things. And you get obviously more attention.
Yeah.
So if you like to have someone to really sit with you, like during your entire journey, then private ceremony would be a good idea.
To go on your own, and then you have this. So that's a different kind of ways or how you can journey. So you can journey at this facilitating place, you can journey in a group, you can journey alone, and then if you continue with this journey, you can journey with your own tribe. So that's what we do.
Yeah, I'm just thinking what I still want to address now is obviously we make this video because we are extremely grateful for what plant medicine has done for us in our life. But on the other hand, we also work with plant medicine, so I hope this doesn't come across as a promotion. I think also when you talk about plant medicine, my personal view is always like attraction rather than promotion. What also happens a lot is like people do plant medicine and all of a sudden they have this wave of enlightenment, and they want to convince like their whole surroundings to also do plant medicine, you know. Whereas if you just embody your experience, you don't need to tell or promote or do anything, because people will come to you and ask,
what have you done?
what have you done? And you glowing, or you know. And obviously, yeah, that's a whole other topic.
No. But maybe there's something else I want to tell about plant medicine. It's like, sometimes we know what the problem is, you know. We know, like, yeah, we've been to therapy, and we've seen, like, yeah, I've done this because of this, and then this, and but even with all that knowledge, you're still not able to shift it. And you're like, you know, I cannot shift it. I know where it's from, I cannot shift it. But because of plant medicine, you're going from a different angle, a different layer, and that's the layer also of feeling, you know. So because of, I don't know, you feel, and because of this, it's making it able to shift things or transform things so much easier than just trying to grasp or talk about it. It's becoming an experience, and you can relive and rewrite your stories, and it's such a powerful thing. And we're so grateful for plant medicine to work with us, trying to make the world and every individual a little better.
Yeah, and I think it's also almost like Mother Gaia calling out for us to radically transform the way we are operating in the world.
Yes.
It's Mother Nature calling us. You see now, all over the world, people are waking up to this new way of being, and one by one, we can transform the world.
Exactly.
And you've once described it as the domino effect.
Yes.
Like,
well, it's not it's not everybody describes it as
oh yeah, well no,
I say that a lot.
Yeah, you have it on your website.
Yeah.
The domino effect.
I didn't make it up.
It's like, and the one block touches the other, and we all touch each other, and this is a process that is still ongoing.
Oh, it's like
we are like pioneers. We're not pioneers.
Everybody's
in the Amazon, they were the true pioneers centuries, thousands of years ago. But like in the Western world, you know, this is new, and I feel we all need to come closer to our true nature, because we are nature. Nature is not separate from us. Like, we are nature, and we need to connect with nature again in order to function in this world. Otherwise, we lose touch with ourselves and where we're coming from. And yeah.
Yeah, in the end, everybody is responsible for life. Everybody. You have to take accountability for your own surrounding, and rather than just trying to accept that the world is how it is, you can realize how much influence we all have, every individual, to change the world and to manifest a reality everybody can live together in the interdependence we all are in. And plant medicine is assisting in this whole wave of trying to make life better, or better, I don't like that word, but different, and in a way in harmony. We just want to be in harmony. Plant medicine, we love you. Thank you.
Thank you, plant medicine.
Thank you, plant medicine.
Woo-hoo.